and thanks for staying with us. The federal government approved more patrol van for Nigerian Customs Service throughout the nation. Also on Customs report, a traditional ruler sympathized with members of Nigerian Customs Service for the loss of 3 officers in Ogun State, plus more report on the CG remark to members of the National Assembly in Abuja. I am Egiseme Edie. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to speak on customs activities with members of the National Assembly. He said the customs will always work to improve the nation's economy. The customs boss pointed out that the issue of smuggling of goods into the country will soon stop.
This is one of the biggest challenges Nigerian Customs has, and I don't think it's only Nigerian Customs Service, it's the global problem to all customs administrations. Even the most advanced customs administrations suffer the calamities of smuggling because of the penchant of our people to move across items that are either prohibited on prohibition list or those that would attract the duty, but for some reason they evade the duty. So this is not only our problem, but it's a global problem. And in Nigeria, ours is even the worst because our people are the most non-compliant group of people. I must say this and say it with all sense of responsibility. If we measure in terms of compliance, our people are not ready to comply. And therefore, you find out that for every 10 container that we examine, you hardly find 5, in most cases, that are fully in line with declaration. The rest are either underdeclared, in connivance between the importers, the freight forwarders, and of course our officers in some cases. So this is one of the fundamental reasons why smuggling still continues to strive. Along our borders, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, we have put in place what we feel is adequate in terms of managing smuggling. We have a 3-layer enforcement. We have the area commands that are deployed in the borders. We have the federal operation units, and we have the strike force, which are always on standby for any credible information to strike. These have yielded adequate result, but certainly that has not curbed smuggling. And I must say here, Mr. Chairman, that for us to stop smuggling completely is probably unheard of. But we are working assiduously to reduce it to the barest minimum. And we need a lot of other input in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, and of course, most importantly, Mr. Chairman, is that I've said this in so many forums, and I will repeat it here, is that the non-cooperation of our border citizens is one of our biggest problems. And I don't blame them, because when you go to these border communities, Mr. Chairman, you find out that in most cases, there's no governance, there's no presence of government there. Today, Coca-Cola is produced in Nigeria and paying no excise. It's only in Nigeria that you find Coca-Cola products and they're not paying excise duty. All other carbonated drinks are also injurious to our health. So if we equally tax tobacco and alcoholic beverages, I see no reason why we should not tax the carbonated drinks. We have said this for the past 5 years I've been on this seat. And up to today, we have not been able to get it through. Why? The reason why, I don't know. So, Mr. Chairman, my submission is simple. We will continue to rely on the unpredictable atmosphere to collect as much as we can, but for us to be precise and more predictable, I think we must pay more attention to our industries and extract excise from them. That will be more predictable and much more realizable. And of course, for every import duty we collect, we are, as a matter of fact, encouraging other countries to produce. For every import that comes into our country, it is our money that goes out to finance those factories and give jobs to their own people. Whereas in our case, we are not producing. So, Mr. Chairman, to say this is that the National Assembly should also help and see how, on the whole, totality of it, we can encourage domestic production, because that is the only way we can sustain our economy and, of course, sustain the revenue collection for the Nigerian Customs Service.
According to him, stakeholders should always pay more attention to the customs operatives in their various operation zones in the country.
Why are we having problem meeting our target? And despite the fact that the National Assembly has put in everything that is necessary to get us moving and collecting the targeted revenue. Mr. Chairman, let me start by saying, unlike my brother in the NNPC, the job of customs is unpredictable. We rely on the market forces that drives the import of items into Nigeria. And as of today, Mr. Chairman, the bulk of our revenue comes from import. In most climes where the customs collect revenue, they rely mostly on excise. And that means the production within the country. Today in Nigeria, as you know very well, Mr. Chairman, the only excise we are authorized to collect is on tobacco and alcoholic beverages.
The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of headquarters in Abuja, has commended the working of all customs submissions in the country. He says that the issue of promotion in the service is ongoing. He speaks more on the promotion by the CG of Nigerian Customs Service.
Since he came on board, he has changed the way promotions are being conducted. Once there is no any disciplinary issue, officers that have passed the requisite examination and the criteria, they are given their promotion as at when due. And the promotion is based purely on performance, not on who you know or how long you stay on a rank. Once you are able to pass the exams, pass the requisite criteria, and based on availability of vacancy to each and every rank, officers are promoted. And very soon, another set of promotion is going to be set in motion. No, it's not, the writing examinations or the CBT exams with computers started before his arrival. But he was able to make some modifications and input that whoever you see is promoted, that officer really performed and he deserved to be promoted. And that is why wherever you see anybody posted to do his duty, you discover that the officer is fully prepared, equipped to discharge that particular schedule or responsibility. Now, those who are not promoted have not passed exams, and that the advice I will give to them is that They should not relent. They should go back, face their books, and prepare for the next interview. It's going to be from ground to controller level. See, you see the way this thing is done is before going for the interview, eligibility list is always published. And time is given to officers to look at it, whether there is any correction to be made or if there are omissions, and all these things are corrected. You know, you have to spend some years on a rank before getting promoted to the next rank. So if, for example, you are within those officers that have spent 3 years on a particular rank, automatically you are due to go for the next promotion exams. But your promotion will not depend on the years you spent. For example, if you attempted 2-3 times or 2 times, you see you've spent 5 years on a rank. But that will not make you to be promoted to the next rank because you've spent 5 years. If you did not pass the exams and fulfill other criteria, you will not be promoted. The advice, like I said, they should just go back, face their books, they should read widely. They should read all subjects from all departments of the service and get themselves ready to write the exams. And once they pass the exams and with availability of vacancies, they are going to be promoted. They don't have to lobby or to know anybody before they get promoted.
You are watching the program Customs Report. A paramount ruler of Yahweh Kingdom and Oba of Ilaro has condemned the recent killing of 3 custom officers by suspected smugglers in Ogun State. A paramount ruler who paid a courtesy visit to the acting controller of customs in charge of FOU Zone A in Lagos said that his kingdom will continue to work with customs operatives in the zone. The deputy controller of customs, who welcomed him, says that 7 suspects have been arrested in connection with the killings.
Happy to have you here because you feel associated with us. You want to commiserate with us over the loss of our officers. And I want to put it on notice that this is the first time we'll see a traditional ruler coming to visit us, most especially to even commiserate with us over the loss of our officers. On behalf of the Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, retired, I want to show appreciation for the visit. Thank you, Kabiyesi. The honor of the kingdom is not with them. That is clear. It is a clear message indicating that what they are doing is against the nation. He has said it here that we need to build our economy, but not in another way. Smuggling is not what you do to build your economy. As a matter of fact, smuggling kills the economy. It has nothing to do with improving the economy, because a lot of forces, a lot of market forces, and the multiplier effect of smuggling itself will go down deep to the root of the economic foundation of the country.
The paramount leader described the incident as regrettable and uncalled for, and also commended the Nigerian Customs Service for handling the matter in a very matured way.
I want to commiserate with you, with your management over the loss of 2 of your men in the course of their national duty in Yoruba land. The incident, no doubt, is very unfortunate. It's uncalled for, and it's regrettable that some people would descend so low to snuff life. out of officers who are going about doing their national engagement as custom officers. I visited the scene of the incident. That is the village at Fagum. And there is no doubt that the custom service, no doubt, responded to the matter on ground with maturity, because there was no casualty on the side of the civilian in the community. So on that note, I want to appreciate you for the maturity of your men and officers for not allowing the matter to escalate beyond what has happened. Though it's regrettable that life was lost on the side of your officers. But I want to assure you that we'll continue to engage our people, continue to educate them, we continue to enlighten them on why the act of smuggling must stop in that axis. Those people engaging in those activities are Nigerians. I have to be frank with you. You have people from all walks of life, all parts of the country, engaging in one business or the other, but the illegal aspect of it is one area that has been bothering those of us that live in that area. I believe strongly that living in a border area was supposed to be a blessing to those of us that live there. But now, we hardly sleep at times with our eyes closed over the activities of some of these Nigerians that engage in smuggling at the border. But by and large, I think we need to engage ourselves often to see how the narrative will change positively.
A total of 16 brand new vehicles were given to FOU Zone A to fight smuggling along the nation's borderline. Egiseme Itinye, AIT News, Lagos.
We keep having problem of lack of vehicles. But now the CGC has magnanimously given us 16 at once. It has never happened. So which means he's determined to ensure that we succeed. And with this given to us, by the special grace, I promise you there will be an increase. There will be turnaround in the fight against smuggling.
So what are you telling?
They should be ready, because there shouldn't be any complaint. All facilities, all instruments rather needed has been given. And the core of it is these brand new vehicles. There is nowhere you cannot get to without these vehicles. And 16 to a command at once. I'm happy, elated, and I want to thank him. I want to thank the CGC for that magnanimity. I want to thank the CGC for standing by us through thick and thin. By the grace of God, it's not going to be business as usual. We will go to the root. One, we will get the people taking it. Two, the owners, because our targeted this thing now is the owners, the actual people asking these people, these smugglers, to bring them in. Those people who are neck deep into the business of smuggling. Not until when we cut the supply chain. If you bring in an item and no one buys that item from you, will you go for it again? Or if you bring an item you are unable to sell, will you go buy it to the market? So it is not going to just stop at those people, the actual smugglers, but the perpetrators, the owners, those who are telling them to smuggle, those who are buying those things and asking people to smuggle them in, we will go after them.
The Federal Executive Council has approved the procurement of 46 vans of vehicles for the operation of the Nigerian Customs Service. The Minister of State for Finance and Budgets and National Planning, Clement Agba, said that the vehicles will boost the operation of the customs in the fight against smuggling in the country.
These are for operational and administrative use by the Nigerian Customs Service. This was awarded to Messrs. Elizade Nigeria Limited at a total cost of 1,554,200,000. And this amount is inclusive of the 7.5% VAT. Recall that the last set of procurement of vehicles that was done for customs was 2017 and 2020. And in 2020, we did see a whole lot of huge seizures that were made by the Nigerian customs, and also the performance in terms of revenue. Even with 2021 up till August, they have overperformed the prorated rate of the target that they were given. So the Council believes that by provision of these additional vehicles, it will also help in enhancing not only their effectiveness but their efficiency, and that more revenues will be generated.
The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, alongside its management, has paid a working visit to the site of the Nigerian Customs Service corporate headquarters located in Maitama to assess the progress of work going on in the project. The custom boss and members of its management were taken on a tour of the building by the consultant of the project, saying that the project will soon be delivered to Nigerian Customs Service.
Various many reasons why, but thank God we are delivering something that, in our opinion, is the most cost-effective federal building in Abuja. And also we are trying to upgrade it to be one of the most qualitative also. By the grace of God, we will deliver this project that the service and the nation will be very proud of.
We give glory to God for giving us the chance to continuously make progress in this construction. But I've seen what has gone. I've not been around for quite some time. I'm highly impressed with what is happening. In fact, it's today that I appreciate the massiveness of the building. We do the best we can. At the end of the day, what we hope to deliver is quality project for future custom officers to enjoy using it. Some of us will soon go, but we want to make sure that we leave something that will be remembered by so many. It has progressed gradually from CG to CG. Now the burden is on us to see whether we can complete it, and we are doing the best we can to complete it. It is our hope that from our own administration, there will be no more. The only thing that will remain is for the successors to continue to maintain the building.
The Federal Operation in Zone B has continued to seize contraband items from smugglers operating in the region. The controller in charge of Zone B said that his men seized various kinds of assorted goods from smugglers operating along the borderline. He speaks more on the number of seizures.
The citizens. We also have 174 bags of borous dehydrated disodium. These are chemicals that we feel they can endanger the survival of our environment. Equally, by the time we finish our documentation after obtaining a permit from Customs Headquarters, we are going to hand it over to Nigeria to continue investigation on how to tame this type of illicit material from circulating in the general public. We have 1,172 cartons of pouring tomato paste. This tomato paste, as you know, in the wisdom of the federal government of Nigeria to encourage local production of tin tomato in Nigeria, this item is banned from coming, especially in retail package. You can bring it, but in concentrate form. If you bring it in concentrate form, which means value will be added here in Nigeria. But where you see it packaged in a retail form, there are no value addition. Therefore, customer will go after it. We also have 664 bags of foreign parboiled rice. This is what we have been getting every day. Despite the change of style by the smugglers, despite the change of concealment method, my unit in FOU Zone B, Kaduna here, we are getting it every day. There is no style that you will employ that my officers will not uncover.
Just before I round up this week's edition of the program, Customs Report, we brought you a report on the seizure made by some commands in the country. For me, Egeseme Etinye, thanks for watching.